Welcome back to another video. So over the past few years I have been living in Germany, there's been a lot of misconceptions that I've heard, about life in Germany, Germans in general. So today's video I'll be clarifying 10 misconceptions about life in Germany. So the first misconception is all Germans love beer. When you think of Germany, okay, you naturally think of beer, sausages, castles, yes, a lot of Germans drink beer a lot. In fact, there are regions where beer is, oh my god, they drink beer almost like water. I think I remember before coming to Germany, I used to actually think that in Germany there is no water. Like you can't actually get water. That although water people might be drinking here was probably imported from a different country. And I don't know why I grew up with that stereotype in my head. Well, that was just what I believed, or maybe it was from media or something. I don't know. But I actually thought in Germany people drink beer more than they actually drink water. So yes, a lot of people in Germany drink beer. There are festivals like Oktoberfest where beer is like, oh my god, it's consumed so much. But at the same time, not all Germans love beer and not all Germans drink beer a lot. So that's number one misconception. So the second misconception I wanted to clarify is that Germany offers free education. Yes, in the past, this was one of the perks of studying in Germany. A lot of schools, like majority of the public schools, offer tuition free education aside from private schools. But currently in 2025, it's not the same thing. Most of the schools in the east still offer free education, public schools, but in the south, it's not the same thing. They've actually put in tuition free for students who are coming in. It might not be all the schools, but like more than 50% of the school in the universities in the south, you actually have to pay tuition for it. Sometimes you might even be doing a course, and that course will not require you to pay tuition free, and somebody else is doing a different course in that same school and they will be required to pay tuition free. So like Germany doesn't offer completely free education at tertiary level anymore. Some federal states in the south do not offer tuition free education anymore for students. The third misconception is on the German autobahn there is no speed limit. Like if you know of the German autobahn, it's like a highway in Germany. Most people feel that on the autobahn there is actually no speed limit, but that is not true. On the autobahn, some parts of it there is no speed limit, but then there are some sections of the autobahn that you would actually see, a sign that you don't have to drive above a certain speed limit. So the German autobahn is not just like like no speed limit and you just keep going and order. That's a huge misconception. Some part of it there is speed limit, and some part of it, like majority of it, there is actually no speed limit. So another misconception that I've heard is like when you're married to a German citizen, you automatically get the German citizenship. Like seriously, that's not true. See, like you would get it eventually, but it's not automatic. Like you have to work for it. Being married to citizen means like you have to live with your spouse for a couple of years. You have to show proof of language, B1. You have to write the German citizenship test. You also have to show proof of being able to survive on your own without any sort of social benefits, so it's not automatic. It's not like when you're married to one you just automatically get the citizenship. That's a huge misconception. Another misconception is, usually a lot of people always think that all Germans are like orderly, punctual people because of the kind of system that's we use here in Germany. Because in Germany, like appointment based system, they make appointment for literally everything, and you're supposed to be punctual for most of this appointment. So you would naturally think that because of the kind of system, that everybody here in Germany is a very punctual person. And yeah, but that's not true. Okay, like you will feel like everybody here will be like a sucker for rules and regulations just because of how the German system is, but that's not true. There are cities I've been to in Germany, like everybody there, like, oh my god, okay, very rule abiding. But then there are cities I've been to, definitely not rule abiding. Most of them are not rule abiding at all. In Germany, like when the traffic light says red, even if no cars are coming, like coming by, you're expected to not cross the road until it says green. But there's always people I see, even as long as you know a car is not coming, if it's red, they will cross the road. So not all Germans are like very like orderly and all of that. And when it comes to punctuality, I feel like this type of stereotypes, the older generations were the ones who were more like that, because this younger generations, nah, they're a little bit more flexible, and they're not like a very strong sucker for rules like that, the way the older generations are. So yeah, that's a huge stereotype and a huge misconceptions about Germans. Another huge misconception is that healthcare in Germany is free. Healthcare in Germany is not free. It is highly subsidized. And even if you're in Germany and you're not working, but like you have access to healthcare, because the law in Germany says everybody should have access to basic healthcare at least, which is a very good thing. But it's not free. So even if you're working and you're not taxed on the healthcare, somebody else's tax is definitely paying for the healthcare services that you're receiving. So healthcare in Germany is not free. And aside from that, there are also certain things you want to do that it's not even covered for you based on the healthcare tax you even pay for. Like I can remember when I was pregnant, yeah, there were some of the prescriptions I was given when I went to the pharmacy. I had to pay for it out from my own pocket. It was not covered by the health insurance. So, and then also some kind of dental care services you want to receive here in Germany. It's expensive and it's not usually covered by the healthcare, the health insurance, I mean to say. So, like, healthcare in Germany is subsidized, that's the word, but healthcare is definitely not free. Another misconception is when you're a student, a lot of people believe that because they are on a study visa, that they cannot bring in their spouse or their family on a family reunification visa. That is absolutely not true. If you come to Germany as a student, you're entitled to, apply for a family reunification for your spouse or for your spouse and your kids, to join you, provided you meet up with some certain criteria. Like, definitely you're here to study, so you definitely have to show proof of fund that yes, if my family comes in, I can take care of my family and I do not have to depend on the government for any social benefit whatsoever. And your spouse is allowed to work. Gonna show like a proof of apartment where you're going to be able to obviously house yourself and your family, an apartment that is sufficient, because there's how Germany is. Like, when you're just you and your husband, there's a size they're looking for. When it's you, your husband, and a child, there's a size they're expecting from you. When it's you, your husband, and two kids, there's a size of apartment they're expecting from you. So you need to be able to provide, all of these things. So you can definitely apply for a family unification visa as long as you're able to meet some of these criteria. Another misconception is that giving birth in Germany does not automatically make that child a German citizen. Countries like the USA, it happens there, but it doesn't happen here in Germany. Your child can only be a citizen if when one of the parents have lived in Germany for 8 years and the parent holds a permanent residence card. So if you hold a permanent residence card and you've lived in Germany for 8 years, and after obviously you've had the permanent residency, you your wife gets pregnant, or you as the woman, you get pregnant and you have a child afterwards, your child is automatically German citizen. But if you've not been able to meet that criteria, then no. If you get your card after the baby has been born, even if it's the same month the baby has been born, and that was when they issued you your permanent residency card, the child will not still be entitled to it. Now, another way the child can be entitled to citizenship is if one of the parents is already a German, or one of the parents is German, then yes, the child automatically is German. So another misconception, and this is for people who are probably going to be applying for the family unification visa, especially like women, because we are the ones who change our surnames. There's no law that states like you must change your surname to your husband's surname, but because Germany is a country of conformity, traceability, evidence, they want to see everything transparent. In a way, it's just better you change it so that you can make the unification process easier for you. And even after you come into Germany, like let's say for instance you're bearing a different surname, your kids are bearing a different surname. Sometimes there are offices you go to, there are things you want to do documentation wise, like they will want you to always prove that yes, you are the biological mother of the child or the kids. And sometimes they would even want to, be convinced that yes, you and your husband are like married, you stated you married, you always have to prove it and all of that. So to just make things a bit easier for you before you come in and after, it's advisable you should change your name, but it's not compulsory. Like there's no law that states you must, but it's advisable. Honestly, it's actually advisable. So we have come to the end of today's video. I hope I've been able to clarify some misconceptions for you guys. See you guys in my next video. Cheers.